Okay, part two, and the petty marital game is on. Let's see who scores points first.
That's completely different. How? Because these are normal requests, practical things. And last night wasn't a normal moment between married people. She set her mug down harder than necessary. That's not the same thing at all, isn't it? You said you have self respect, so you don't let people touch you. Well, I have self respect, too. So I don't let people make demands of me. People, I'm your wife. The irony wasn't lost on me. Funny, last night, I was just people to you. She stood up abruptly, her robes swirling around her. This is ridiculous. You're being childish. No, I'm being consistent. If we're going to establish new boundaries about respect in this house, then they apply to both of us. But I need those things done. And I needed my wife to not treat me like some stranger trying to cope. She opened her mouth to argue, then seemed to realize she didn't have a good comeback. Instead, she grabbed her coffee and stormed toward the stairs. This conversation isn't over, she called back. You're right, I said to her, retreating form. It's just getting started. I heard the bedroom door slam, followed immediately by the muffled sound of her voice on the phone, probably calling the same friends she'd been texting last night, looking for backup and validation. But here's what she didn't understand yet. I wasn't playing some temporary game or trying to make a point. If she wanted to redefine what respect looked like in our marriage, then we were going to explore that definition thoroughly. I finished.
That just led to a good question. For those of you that are married in serious relationships or were in one, what is respect to you in a relationship? Be as thorough as you like. I don't even care if y'all start a big debate. Relating debate is what these posts are all about. But drop that bad boy in the comments. Let's resume.
My breakfast in peace, listening to her animated voice upstairs. Whatever advice her friends were giving her, I had a feeling it wasn't going to help her case. She came back downstairs an hour later, fully dressed and armed with what I could only assume were talking points from her support group upstairs. Okay, we need to talk about this, she announced, sitting across from me at the kitchen table like we were about to negotiate a business deal. Sure, talk. What you're doing isn't the same as what I did last night. What I said was about personal boundaries and bodily autonomy. What you're doing is just being spiteful. I had to give her credit. That was a pretty sophisticated way to try to justify the double standard. So, when you establish boundaries, it's about autonomy. When I establish boundaries, it's spite. Yes, because these are things that need to get done. Practical household stuff. An affection between spouses isn't practical. She waved her hand dismissively. That's not what this is about. Then explain to me what it is about. Use small words so I can understand. The sarcasm wasn't lost on her. Her jaw tightened. It's about not feeling pressured or obligated to be physical just because we're married. Great. Then you'll understand why I don't feel obligated to be your personal errand boy just because we're married. That's not your twisting my words. I'm using your exact logic. You don't want to feel obligated to do things you don't want to do. Neither do I. She stared at me for a long moment, probably trying to figure out where her argument had gone wrong. Fine, she said finally. I'll pick up my own dry cleaning. Don't ask me, I replied. I have self-respect. Stop saying that. Why? You seem to think it was a perfectly reasonable thing to say last night. She pushed back from the table, frustration written all over her face. This is insane. You're acting like a completely different person. No, I'm acting like someone who learned a new vocabulary word. Self-respect. Turns out it's pretty useful. The rest of the week followed the same pattern. Every request, every assumption, every little thing she'd taken for granted got the same response. Could I help her move the heavy boxes in the garage? Don't ask me. I have self-respect. Could I drive her to her sister's place because her car was making that noise? Don't ask me. I have self-respect. Could I pick up groceries on my way home from work? You guessed it. By Thursday, she wasn't just frustrated. She was panicking. I watched her try different approaches. Guilt trips about how marriages require compromise, logical arguments about household responsibilities, even attempts at sweetness and manipulation that might have worked before, but I stayed consistent every single time. The breaking point came when her friend Lillian stopped by Friday afternoon. I was in the living room when they sat down in the kitchen, but voices carried in our house. He's being completely unreasonable, my wife was saying. Like, yes, maybe I was a little harsh Tuesday night, but this is ridiculous. What exactly is he doing? Lillian asked, throwing my words back at me. Every time I ask him to do anything, he says he has self-respect and refuses. That's actually kind of brilliant, Lillian said. And I could hear the grudging admiration in her voice. Whose side are you on? I'm just saying if you're going to establish new rules about respect and boundaries, you can't get mad when he plays by the same rules. There was a long pause. But it's different, my wife said, though she sounded less certain. Now how? Because it just is. Even from the other room, I could tell that wasn't convincing anyone, including her.
Give me an honest answer to this question. I'll speak to the ladies for this one. Have you ever wanted something selfishly and hated that what you wanted was never designed to be a selfish request? Was never designed to be a selfish expectation when in a relationship? Men, have you ever punished in justified manner for women wanting those things? Drop that in the comments. Part 3 is next.